spooky season. It's coming to a close here. We
It's
got like
all.
perfectly timed. Somehow it worked out. We're gonna be able to do an episode here on Halloween.
Hooray!
Hey, and when it's Halloween, you already know what it is. I wish I was like good with music. I would make like a little theme
A
for
theme for,
for
for our
our
friend
our
today.
man here. Yeah, but before we get there, real quick, hey, Sho-Dependent Pod, one half, Eddie. Hey, hello, how you doing?
Isn't it thirds today?
I guess one
Yeah.
third, Eddie. Hey, hello, how's it going? Second
Second
third,
third.
Kayla.
Hey! Third.
Oh, completing the fraction, making this a
Fraction.
whole number. There you go. See, I remember some things.
Oh,
As the one, the
I'm
only,
getting sick.
the resident show dependent horror expert. As I always say, when it's Halloween, you know it's got to be Bird. Coming back with another
Mm.
horror classic. Bird, welcome back once again to the yearly Halloween
Mm-hmm.
episode of Show Dependent.
It's a tradition that I am very excited about and thankful for. So thanks
Oh
for
yeah.
agreeing to have me on to give you my half-baked horror analysis.
Nah, it's
Half
fully baked.
baked.
It's
Come
fully
on now.
baked. If
It's been
anything,
cooking all year.
it's a creme brulee. You bake it and then you bake it again.
Ooh.
Wow. Extra baked.
Oh yeah. And hey, show dependent, what do we talk about? Talk about things that we love and why we love it, how it changed us, all that good stuff. But don't want to waste too much time because hey, we got a lot to talk about here.
Hmm.
It's a movie that I mean, we'll get to it, but it's got so much going on and so much has like happened around it. It's insane. It's been a wild ride with this film. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about a 1982 American science fiction horror film directed by John Carpenter
Woo.
from a screenplay by Bill Lancaster, based. It's a lot of credits here.
Caveats, yeah.
Based on the 1938 John W. Campbell Jr. novella, and we're not talking about Telemundo, entitled "Who Goes
It's
There?"
such a dumb joke.
Who who goes there?
That's such a rough title.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
funny. I don't know. It's like I think the title of this one was much better. It's called The Thing.
Or as I like to say, the thing. It's
That's
more
it.
fun that way.
La Cosa.
Yep, La Cosa.
La Cosa.
And why don't we just get on into it with a little meet cute?
It's a meet cute baby. It's how we met this thing.
I know you gentlemen have been through a lot. And when you find the time, I'd rather not spend the rest of this winter tied to this fucking couch!
I only watched this movie, I don't know. It must have been like 6 or 7 years ago now. Because I watched it at your house, Bird.
Mhm.
The nest, the original nest that I was introduced to the bird with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we watched it kind of late at night. And I remember one of our friends was stoned.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is a high quality film. And he's just saying gibberish about nothing. And I had a great time. But ever since I watched that, it's just like, I think it's the atmosphere that I really enjoyed the most. Because it does something that I think a lot of horror films traditionally don't lean into, which is kind of like an Arctic landscape. Most
Mhm.
things take place in the woods, and there's kind of like an absence of being able to hide in this kind of scenario. So it's interesting, and I really liked it.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to talk more about it.
Yeah, well, for my part, I want to say it was around senior year, high school, freshman year, college. Again, I want to say it was on cable. You know, I feel like that's with a lot of these.
You love you some cable.
I love me some cable back in the day. I loved like AMC when they would do like their horror, like scariest horror movie moments and all that stuff. I used to eat that shit up. That was like, after like I got introduced to horror, and being super excited around Halloween again as a like, teen becoming an adult. I loved when AMC would put on all that stuff and I would sit there and watch it and it would give me so many ideas of like, oh, this is a movie I need to see. Or this is like something I should watch. And I'm pretty sure if it wasn't AMC, it was some other cable network that showed the thing. And I, just sat down, watched it one day, and I was just like, man, this is so good. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
insane. It's like unlike a lot of horror movies that I saw at the time, and I still feel like it's a pretty unique horror film to this day. It just does so many things so well. Uh, as we were talking about last episode with It Follows, I feel like the thing I hold in like such high regard that like from the first time I saw it as a young Eddie, a younger Eddie,
Mm-hmm.
a young gentle man, I was just like, I don't know, it made me feel like smart that I liked it and like oh the ending just hits you with like so much like I remember just thinking I was like thinking for like a week, 2 weeks, like damn, was it really what I thought it was?
That was a
Could it
young.
have been something else?
Was that a rare occurrence for young Eddie to be
Oh yeah,
thinking?
the
Oh,
brain the
okay.
brain was barely moving, but it was doing a little something. Mostly thinking about the thing.
So the first two movies that I was lucky to be able to talk about with you all, Scream and Halloween. I have very vivid memories of when I saw those, and they were when I was really, really young.
Hmm.
And for the thing, I don't remember the first time I saw it. I don't have like
Hmm.
that type of vivid, oh, like I was,
Yeah.
12 years old and I was watching it and it came on Fear Fest on AMC or something like that.
Yeah.
But I want to say I saw it either maybe in college, maybe end of high school. I'm not
Mm.
100% sure, but what I do know about the movie is that over the past like 10-ish years, I would say that this has become probably my favorite or just very close to being my favorite horror movie, period.
Mm-hmm.
John Carpenter's done a lot
Hmm.
that I love, and you know, I love Halloween.
Yeah.
And Michael Myers is obviously like so iconic and untouchable. But if we're just talking about in a vacuum, just a film, this is his masterpiece. This is his best film. And
Hmm.
I think that this movie it just does things that none of his other films I think accomplish.
Hmm.
Not in a negative way. I love like
Mm-hmm.
most
Oh
everything
yeah.
Carpenter's done, but this particular film I just think is like untouchable in every way. The other thing is, so I almost, I maybe if I had thought about it ahead of time, I almost feel like this would be one that my partner would be good to also be talking about. I almost feel like she knows more about this movie than I do.
Oh damn.
Um,
That would have been sick.
she definitely like when I was doing, kind of reminding myself rewatching the film, like she definitely
Oh.
had like a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
But this movie's like pretty important for like my relationship because literally like the first thing we ever talked about, she was asking, what's my favorite horror movie? And
Mhm.
I said, well, I think like my actual favorite horror movie overall would be Suspiria, the original
Mhm.
Suspiria. But I think a close second would probably be The Thing. I'm like, how about you? And hers was like The Thing, like that's my favorite movie, and talked about
Nice.
how much it meant to her and all the reasons that she really loved it. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that like first moment of meeting, but it kind of doesn't matter because like the connection that I have to the movie is stronger than almost any other horror movie at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, dang. That would have been sick. A little fatal four way.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, we'll
Craziness.
we'll we'll have to have her on the pod at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love it. Fantastic. Can't wait to keep talking about this. Why don't we get to know the thing a little bit more intimately? Not that intimate,
Oh
I
my
don't want
God. I don't want to know.
I don't think I want the thing inside me.
I don't want it anywhere near me.
I mean, you're probably right. I mean,
Ugh.
that thing nasty.
Ugh.
It's insane.
Although I will say, very well lubricated. That
Mhm.
is the one plus I will say.
Damn. You wet. Let's get to know the thing a little bit better.
Getting to know each other. Meow.
Well, what do we do?
Why don't we just wait here for a little while. See what happens.
Again, we're gonna start off here with something that sets the tone in horror in general,
Hmm.
which is the music.
Yeah, so um Ennio Morricone scored The Thing, and if you're not familiar with the name, Ennio Morricone is generally considered to be like the best film score producer of all time. He did the score for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and a lot of spaghetti
Mm,
westerns. Just a incredible musician, and he's really good at doing these massive, epic type orchestral scores.
hmm
So I think because at this point, Carpenter was a pretty big name because this is 4 years after Halloween.
hmm
Um, and so he was able to get Ennio Morricone. And as it came time to finish the film and to release the film, John Carpenter decided that he didn't want to use Ennio Morricone's score. Um, and
Get
I
dunked
think
on.
And I don't think it was from like a he didn't like it, but
Hmm.
I think it was kind of twofold. One, I think he didn't feel like it fit what the movie actually was doing. And then the second thing is, we'll talk about this, probably at length later, but this movie actually was not well received when it came out.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
It was panned. People hated it, which is insane to me because it's considered pretty
wild.
clearly to be a pantheon of horror.
Hmm.
But so I wonder if maybe John Carpenter at the time had some kind of hesitancy, or he didn't feel super confident about the film. And
Mm-hmm.
so he decided to just kind of do his own synth. And the reality is the synth is perfect. This is
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
exactly what is needed in this film. It's such a quiet but scary score, but it's not like Halloween where you have an actual kind of like progression of a song. It's just
yeah,
like these tones,
Yeah.
which I think really fits with the sort of isolation and desertion and dread of the movie.
Hmm.
oh
And
yeah.
I think I have actually mentioned this before, the last time that we talked about John Carpenter. So if you want to hear the original score for the thing that Ennio Morricone did, it's actually featured in The Hateful Eight by Quentin Tarantino. Quentin
Oh yeah.
Tarantino worked with Ennio Morricone. I actually think that might have been Morricone's last film that before he passed.
Damn.
And he essentially he did create some new things for The Hateful Eight, but he also reused things that
Damn.
he had done for the thing that
Hmm.
John Carpenter didn't want. And the score for The Hateful Eight is great.
Uh-huh.
It's really good, but it fits that movie so much more than this movie.
hmm
This movie, if you have some big grandiose like vocals and
Yeah.
operatic sound, it just wouldn't work. So just like the
Yeah.
Hmm.
that's my good
Two
sip.
notes.
Oh yeah.
Two notes.
Hey, I mean,
That's it.
I mean, Jaws shows what you can do with one note, right? It's
Right.
Hmm.
just like sometimes less is more, as they say. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's wild to think because I mean, music is so important to like horror movies, I think especially. It's just
Hmm.
like it's it's memorable, it sets the tone and it like readies your body. It communicates with your body and tells you like how you feel. It's just wild because it's like, yeah, the tension that the music creates or the like just like silence, the important moments of where nothing's happening with the music versus where like the music is just hitting and you're just like, I don't know. It's perfect. I cannot imagine it sounding different. And I definitely got it because I haven't heard like the Hateful Eight. I haven't seen the movie, haven't heard the song, so I definitely need to listen and be like, I don't know. It's hard to imagine anything else going on in here because it just feels so. And I mean, Bird, like you said, we'll definitely talk at length later about the reaction to this, but I don't know. It's I can't imagine what it would have been like, and I don't feel like that would have made the difference.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It'll be something. But another beginning thing I think that I love, well, I know that I love absolutely is the like title card.
It's
It's
so good.
it's so good. For one, I love the just little like, and this is the thing. There
No, this
was,
is the thing.
oh, this is the thing, and here's another thing right here, is that we've talked about in a few past episodes about how like media literacy and like how like you have to over explain everything nowadays, it feels like
Hmm.
for a lot of things. And the thing doesn't do that.
No.
The thing shows you a craft flying towards Earth in flames, and then we get just the sickest like just fucking this text comes up and I'm like, "Oh my God, dude. This is so sick." I'm just like I don't know. It just gets me so hyped up because I think I've said it. I love a unique title card. I'm one of those
Hmm.
people, and this one this one gets me amped up. Like, yes. Show me the thing. Show me it right now. I'm excited for it.
Well, what's cool is that so the title card is actually really similar because you were kind of given all the background of, here's what the thing was based off of,
Hmm.
here's who wrote it, here's who produced it. But the first time that this story was put onto screen was actually in the 50s. It was a Howard Hawks movie called The Thing from Another World.
Hmm.
And that's actually it's a pretty good movie. I mean, it's very dated from like the 50s, but John Carpenter loved it. He idolized the movie. It's why he wanted to make The Thing. And it's actually featured that original title card in Halloween when they're
Yeah,
at
yeah,
Tommy Doyle's house, or when
yeah.
yeah, when they're at Tommy Doyle's house.
Little
The
Tommy
movie
D.
that they're watching, while like Michael is going out and killing people, the
Mm.
movie that the kids are watching is The Thing from Another World,
Hmm.
and it's the same kind of title card where like the letters sort of like melt away.
Hmm.
Hmm.
The Thing from Another World, a very, very different kind of movie, and I can
Yeah.
kind of, we can kind of like refer back to it. But what I will say is that that sort of like title sequence is really, really similar, and it's just perfect. It's really cool. It's super unique, and
Hmm.
it exactly. It's not over explaining anything. And we'll talk about this in a little bit too. Like the spaceship
Hmm.
crashing. What's so interesting to me is that like this doesn't really feel like an alien movie to me.
No.
So but you need that. It's absolutely
Oh yeah.
essential.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. It's like, okay, cool. Here we have this sort of like, all right, what's going to be the connection? And then we like move through the
Hmm.
movie. And yeah, excellent opening in terms of both music and just title card and just the initial shot. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, it gets you in there because it's like I'm about to say some alien shit.
I think the font in particular with the title card,
Hmm.
it's one, very iconic, and two, it's like a really good mixture of like the familiar with kind of like the fleshy kind of like torn aesthetic it has, but it's also very I don't know, it's kind of unnerving in its brightness,
Yeah.
which we see a lot of because we tend to associate like horror with dark.
Yeah.
But they go for the polar opposite in this film, which is just stark white
From another world.
environments. So it's really cool.
From another world. And how about that? We didn't write it down, but that poster, so sick. What the fuck?
Whoa!
He said, oh, the light coming out. It's just, oh, God, I gotta,
There's a reason
block my
Bird's got
face.
that tattooed on his body.
It's so good.
I sure do.
So cool.
You want to talk about like, if I'm sure, I mean, there's so many dog actors, but I'm talking like
I'm
top
talking
10.
Beethoven. I'm
I'm
talking
talking.
Bud Air.
Is his last name Air?
I
It's
don't
Air
think so. I
Bud.
think it's just I James Bond.
Bud
I don't know.
Kennedy.
But Old Yeller.
Oh yeah.
I feel like this dog actor, first of all, is fucking like at least top five in my book.
Wild.
And they had my man out there running. This man was running through that snow, and I'm like, damn, this dog's killing
Mm-hmm.
it. Just like he is working out. I cannot imagine. This boy gotta be tired.
Huskies.
Oh
It was
yeah.
a
He
husky,
was built
right?
for it though.
What's the difference between a husky and a Malamute? I don't know the difference.
I think a Malamute is a type of husky.
Oh, okay.
Oh damn.
So
Yeah.
like a Siberian husky would be one thing, and then a Malamute is like an Alaskan
Mm,
husky.
Really? Damn.
very,
Well,
very
hey.
athletic.
Well, either way, the dog was cooking, cutting and weaving, and those Norwegians aim absolute dog shit.
Oh my God. It was like I was watching fucking Star Wars.
It's like, dude, how are you looking like me playing like Call of Duty now? You know, I'm washed. I used to have it. Now I'm just
So bad.
absolute ass at like anything competitive. I don't understand. But n not only that, to go ahead a little bit, I don't know. I can't sing this dog's praises enough
I know it's a weird thing to
because
like
it feels like
really
everything
enjoy.
the dog does. It's like I could see it in its eyes that it's like this dog is thinking.
Yeah, this dog is
This dog, and
calculating.
I don't know, we do spoilers here. So as a light little beginning of the spoiler, if you're listening to this, you haven't seen the thing, you gotta go watch it. Um, but also knowing that the dog is the thing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, the thing is in there thinking. The thing is in there plotting. The thing is scanning the room, taking down everyone's measurements, and like this dog is like just, I don't know. I can see thoughts in that dog's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they found him, but where's the Oscar?
Right? They should have animal Oscars. They really should.
That would be sick.
Yeah, just the scene where they come back from uh the Norwegian station, and
Hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
the thing knows that they found some information.
Yeah.
The way that dog is just staring
Oh yeah.
is
Mm-hmm.
so it just says so much. And just the way that it like walks like very intentionally.
Hmm.
It's really good. It's hard to get an animal to like portray so much emotion like that. That's
Hmm.
not just like I'm a dog and I love you. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
really hard to get a dog to be like that serious and like dour and like yeah,
Yeah.
thinking like to make it look like this dog is like plotting and planning and scheming, which I mean in the story it is.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. It's like because we watched this like an hour before we're doing this because we wanted it to be fresh. And watching it, one of my favorite scenes in the whole film is the scene which is just not very long and nothing is said, but so much is said, where the dog, the thing, just walks into the room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's so insane how it just calmly walks into the room and you see the shadow of someone, and all they do is turn their head and look, and then it fades to black. And my blood, I want to run through a
Woo!
fucking wall because I'm like, yes, dude, this is so sick. Like, this is such good, like, storytelling because it's so sinister. Obviously, the first time you're like, huh, what's going on? I do remember though, like, I don't know. I love just the look of the guy turning around. For some
Mm-hmm.
reason, it
The
like amps
shadow.
me up. I'm like, yes, this is filmmaking. You know,
This
like
is art.
this is yes, Leonardo da Vinci wishes. Uh, but then like knowing, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's so sinister and it's so like planned out by the thing, and he's like already like putting his little things out there and like replicating himself and like planning ahead. Ah, man. And the last thing I'm gonna say here is I just think I absolutely love the fade outs in this movie because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the fade outs to me it like communicates their like desperation and like their
Mm-hmm.
confusion because I
And
feel
after a
like
certain point, like they're just their hopelessness.
yeah, it's like the fade out like what a great choice because it does to me it communicates like they don't know what they're doing. Like the
Mm-hmm.
scene where they well this one and then the one where it fades and like they ask Blair, Wilford Brimley. What do they do? They ask him like what the thing is doing or something like that, right? I can't remember exactly. But they ask him a question and it shows him and then just fades to black. And it's just like he doesn't know what to say. None of them know what they're doing. It's just they're
Mm-hmm.
lost. They're confused. And I think that's just like when you break it down, like that's filmmaking. Because like even little choices like that, like you could have just, cut away, do whatever, but nah, it's a fade I'm just like, John Carpenter, you you
Bravo.
wild for this one, man. You you crazy, dog. Ah, it's so good. I love that scene.
So good.
Yes.
I was just gonna say I do have one more thing to add because Buddy and I did a little bit of research, and when I see that shadow, to me it looks like Palmer.
Yeah.
But fun fact, John Carpenter, I was about to call him Juan Carpenter. John
Juan.
Carpenter, he was originally going to use Palmer's actor for that scene, but he thought his shadow was too identifiable.
Mm.
So he chose to use a stunt coordinator whose real name is Dick Warlock. Absolutely
Oh my
insane. This
God.
man was made for the stars. Yeah, Dick Warlock, he was the shadow. But it's funny because he
Cool.
just looks like Palmer to me. So I'm like in my mind I'm like, it's gotta be Palmer. And I think it was Palmer.
It has to be.
Yeah, but then it's like not actually the actor,
Gotta
but it
like
looks
leave
like
it
him.
ambiguous.
I
Yeah.
don't know. But yeah,
So
love it.
cool.
Love it.
I was just gonna go back to the title card, the or not the title card, the freeze frame, the fading out.
Yeah,
Like the Blair example is a good one. I mean, again, this is jumping forward, but
for sure.
it's like I don't know what to do, and
Hmm.
then as you come to the other side of that fade out, it's Blair investigating. It's Blair.
Yeah.
It's literally him trying to figure out like how long it will take the thing to take over the world.
Right.
Hmm.
So it's kind of
Which,
cool.
where the fuck did he get that algorithm,
It's
by
like
the way?
he just had this software, dog.
The
Like
science
what?
be sciencing, and I will now talk to the computer, and it will tell me all the stats.
Yeah.
What?
I
What
just
is
had this
this?
lying around, man. I just seen that I was ready.
I never thought I'd use this, but here it is. Oh, sci-fi. There's always that level of like having to suspend your disbelief with sci-fi.
Oh yeah.
There's always like one element where you're like, I don't know about that. I don't know.
He was
But
ready. Blair knew
yeah.
what was up.
Hmm. Oh, I was just gonna say, since we were talking about iconic silhouettes,
Hmm.
McCready's hat
Oh
is possibly the best hat in film history.
my God, it's up there.
Um, stellar. Where the fuck do you get a hat like that?
I don't know.
I
Where?
also don't know what the utility of it is
Not
either.
at
Right.
all.
And I love that he puts it on top of his hood. He puts his hood on and then puts on a cowboy hat.
I'm like, you need something with low, like wind
Yeah,
resistance.
it's got
That thing
the
is
that
just,
thing.
woo, woo, woo. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
gonna take you with it like a fucking parasail.
It's a fun bit of, world building though, right? Character building. It's like
Hmm.
McCready, he felt the need to bring this hat.
He's the
Why?
cowboy. He's
Yeah,
the cowboy.
that's Kurt. It's
He's our
Mr.
Wild
Muscle right there.
West.
Could be some backstory there that we're not aware of.
Yeah, it's
Ah,
true.
little cowboy coming on down about to hunt the thing. I did. I also also feel like right now I just want to bring up because Bird, you put it in the notes, and it definitely gets me thinking when you see the dog at the beginning, these Norwegians, what happened here? Well, there was a sequel in 2011 that actually turned out to be a prequel, which is funny because you watch it, and as you're watching it, you're like, wait a minute, hasn't
I
this
know
already
this.
happened? Essentially, to tie everything into that, the ending of that movie obviously is the beginning of this one. So, like
Hmm.
in the sequel, prequel, whatever the fuck they call it, uh, you see the dog run away. And, to be cliched, fun fact, if you can speak Norwegian, the Norwegians at the beginning of the movie say, like, hey, that's like the thing. That's the thing. Let me kill it. But no one can speak Norwegian.
Except for people who are Norwegian.
I wonder if they changed it.
I don't
We did not do any research on that, but that would have been an interesting, they just speak Spanish.
know.
I mean, so when they go to investigate the station, it sets up really nicely. Like that's the perfect doing that prequel makes a lot of sense. Like it
Hmm.
totally could work and can work. The 2011 film's not very good.
Right.
And I don't, and I was talking about this with my partner, and part of it is that they kind of scrapped all these practical effects that they were going to use and made it
Ooh.
CGI. And
Oh
I mean,
no.
as we will get into, the whole reason that this is like an all-timer is because of the practical effects.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, the idea of like what happened here, how did these, Norwegians discover this, spaceship that frozen into the ice for 100,000 years? What happened at their station? That's like such a great, interesting story. That's,
Right there.
it makes sense. Like this is a prequel that totally could have worked.
Right.
It doesn't, but there's some interesting connections we can get to later about
Mm.
there's some information from the prequel that's actually potentially helpful if you
Mm.
consider it to be part of the narrative for helping piece together the final moments of the
Mm.
It's funny because Gorgeous, you have not seen the prequel,
No,
but
and I don't really
there's
plan on
just
seeing it, but
yeah,
yeah.
I feel like you should.
Uh,
Big mostly for like you do get a little backstory. It's fun. It's like oh you get to do the Leonardo. I know that. I know this dog's
ah.
up to something, but it's also very infamous for like the CGI. And last thing, just the scene of those two guys sticking their faces together is so ass. I
Oh, no,
remember
they show
watching.
how that
Oh
happens?
yeah, I
Oh,
remember watching
man.
it in the theaters. I was like, oh good lord, this sucks. Like it looks bad. It like I don't know. We'll talk more about like the things like properties later, but it's also like why can he just like melt skin together? Because they like he just like touches their cheeks and then they're like glue. It's like they got Play-Doh for
Oh,
skin. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways,
oh
well,
boy.
this is as Bird said, this is an alien film. It's sci-fi, but it doesn't feel that way in a very good way.
Mm-hmm.
Because like yeah, we have the sci-fi, but you don't have to like do uh a whole bunch of like world building for it.
Yeah. Well, it's because
It-
we're on Earth, right?
yeah.
So,
And they give you subtle hints, maybe a little more in the prequel. But for one, Gorgeous, I love your note where they're like, why do people always have to dig things up?
why?
Just leave
Why?
it. Just leave
Just
it in the
fucking
ice.
leave it.
You don't need
There's
that
a
thermite.
reason it's there. Let's
Yeah,
just keep it there.
don't worry about it. Leave it there. But
That shit
also,
always pisses me off in horror. But I mean, that's like an investigation of the human spirit, right?
the plot
We're like,
demands it.
why do we do it? It's how it's
Hmm.
who we are.
To the great unknown.
We cannot fucking just let things be. Got to
Hmm.
make it our own damn problem for some reason.
Right. But this is like a creature feature. It's a monster movie mixed with like the whodunit. Who is it?
Ooh,
Who can we trust? Who and
ooh.
all that? And as Bird, God, I'm losing the word, alluded to
There you go.
a
Very
few
good.
minutes ago. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I took an English class.
One or two.
English class once or twice. But the monster here, the thing, the practical effects are what make it this movie's ability to age like a fine wine. It all
Mm-hmm.
comes down to these practical effects. I can't believe in the prequel they didn't do it. Got to be the studio meddling. But man,
Mm-hmm.
y'all want to talk because I love it, but I feel like both of you love the practical effects much more.
Mm-hmm.
Very passionate about it. They're fantastic.
Bird, what sticks out to you the most?
there's one scene in particular which we'll get to a little bit later, but the first practical effect, well, I guess the first practical effect would be them discovering the guys joined together,
Yeah, the
and
twins.
Claire and the doc, doing the autopsy on it.
Yeah.
But the first transformation scene where our, A1 dog actor goes
Mm-hmm.
into the dog kennel with all the other dogs and then starts transforming, and
Uh,
Ah,
yeah, it's like and like scary, and it's also bonkers, which I love too. Like
it's
the
insane.
Yeah, it's not just like oh, this is not a there's it's not like necessarily logical, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like okay, here's like kind of the states. It's like it kind of opens up like the Demogorgon or something, and
Yeah,
oh, it
exactly.
does. Yeah.
Yeah, very. I wonder if the Demogorgon was influenced by that a
Well,
lot.
which one
I
came
would.
first? Because the
Well,
Demogorgon is from D&D, right?
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I'm not sure, but it's just like such a really it's it's just wild. It's just crazy, and
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's got like these tentacles that it like shoots into the dogs, and
He's
Oh,
so
poor other
mean.
dogs.
I know
And
I feel
and it's I'm sure they treated the dogs well.
Oh my God,
I'm
they better
hoping.
have given these dogs all the fucking peanut butter in the
But
world, because
the
Jesus.
one I feel the worst for is the one that gets squirted
Oh,
by
it's so
I'm
much
like, leave him
poo.
alone.
Stop
Hey,
spraying him.
what the fuck? Does he understand? I'm sure he's a professional, but at the same time,
I just
damn.
hope it was like nicely flavored for him. So
Yeah,
like if he was gonna lick himself clean, it tasted like, I don't know, meatballs or
yeah.
something. I don't know.
And real quick, Buddy and I have a quick thing. The dog actor is named Jed. So
Aww.
Jed killed it.
Slay Jed. Her. What a professional.
Big woof.
I do very good. Wow.
Big bark.
Big I'm gonna shake you through the camera. The practical effects are so freaking well done. It is insane. Like from an artistic standpoint, to have that like much mastery of the human anatomy, to know just how far to kind of like stretch and push things to where they would somewhat be believable but still kind of be in that uncanny realm is just masterful. I appreciate it so much.
And the guy's name is Robin R. Botton.
That is a great ass name.
That was the guy who did the special effects. He also did worked with Carpenter on The Fog. He also did RoboCop, Total Recall, and the movie Seven. So some really good
Wow.
he is very well like highly regarded in like the special effects, practical effects realm. Uh I mean, as you said, there's so many things that are done well in this. That dog is insane. I can't imagine like seeing these things IRL. When
Hmm.
we were watching it, we were like, "Where's that thing? I hope that's still around. I hope they still have that effect
Yeah,
somewhere
they're
in a
preserving it
museum."
in like a glass case. It's not just rotting in somebody's attic or something. Like
Hmm.
this is stuff that should be saved for prosperity. Like it's posterity. Yeah, it's
Yeah. I can't imagine if this was CGI, it would not have aged well. It just like doesn't. It never
mm-mm.
does. It's just even if we do have that little hokey moment with the what was it? The dummy when Windows is getting
He
getting
gets
tossed
chomped
around.
on. Woo!
Yeah, getting tossed around like that. Yeah, it looks a little goofy, but CGI still would have looked worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. That dog, man. And why's he always got like the little worms coming out?
I hate those
I'm like,
things.
oh, dude, get away from me. Jesus. This movie though, very serious film. You know, when it's detective work, everyone's operating at 11. They're all freaking out. I love when they like
No, nobody's actually operating 11. They think they are. They're actually at like a 3 or a 4 because
hey,
they are
hey,
in
hey,
like such
hey.
a feral survival mode.
That was such a good
Ah!
one. But I don't know. The performances to me, outstanding. I feel like everyone plays their part perfectly. Everyone's like the perfect level of on edge and then over the edge. My favorite part about this is that everyone's so good, but you don't know who you can trust, and you don't even know if you can trust McCready, who is like he's the main character, you know?
Yeah, he's our hero.
He's the guy. Even though everyone's kind of there, they're all there, but like McCready, he feels like the main character. He feels like the guy. He's the one who we follow, doing most things. But man, I mean, Bird, you wrote down a few other guys that they're doing great stuff.
So I mean, yeah, this is a pretty dour movie, like intentionally, and it's pretty grim. It's not, the end of the movie is not particularly, uplifting or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we still get some like pretty fun performances from people capable of delivering like good fun performances.
Mm-hmm.
So you have, I mean, Wilford Brimley, who we've already talked about as Blair, who turns into like tinfoil hat at a certain point.
I love him. That's how I would be.
That news right there. Don't worry about that
Don't
news.
worry about
Don't
it.
even comment on it. It's hey, that's my old buddy.
and
He's just
then
hanging around.
Nice.
Thank you.
and then you have Keith David, who I love Keith David, always loved Keith David. Um, he's got that great connection with John Carpenter. He's in They Live.
Mm.
Good John Carpenter movie with Roddy Piper as well.
Oh God, yeah.
But Keith David is just kind of like I actually kind of to that point because Wilford Brimley, you were kind of talking about how like oh like that's how I would be. I
Mhm.
kind of feel like Keith David and Wilford Brimley kind of act like the most normally, not most rationally, but the most normally. For the
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
same point that they're the least rational about it. Like Wilford Brimley just starts like freaking out,
right.
and then like Keith David is just kind of like I don't believe any of this. Like can't believe any of this voodoo bullshit. Like
Yeah,
he's just constantly like angry and like he's like this is
Denial.
ridiculous. Like so yeah, Keith David is awesome. He's got like just a $1 million voice.
Oh my God. Love him.
But yeah, some fun performances and like what is a movie that's not like trying to have a good time. Like this isn't like if you're gonna watch this movie, you're not watching it with like some beers and like cracking jokes. Like you're watching this and you're like, no, this is pretty
Mm-hmm.
serious, but there
oh
still is
yeah,
some time for some fun performances.
oh yeah. Everyone's good. Palmer, he has some funny moments, you know. He suggests something early, they say no. It's like, oh well, thanks for thinking about it. Appreciate it. And I like when they're talking about the alien, the how did they get here and all that, the spaceship. And then Palmer again is like this chariots of the gods, man. Chariots of the gods. It's like this guy's locked in on
And of
that.
course he's the pothead.
Oh yeah, he's locked in on the ancient aliens theory. He knows
Mm-hmm.
the ancient astronaut theory.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, he knows what's going on. But like Windows, man, poor guy. Windows was cool as fuck.
I liked him a lot.
Just the glasses, and to your point, Bird, was like he also feels like he was acting pretty like realistically, pretty
Mm-hmm.
rationally. He just freaks out like I gotta get out of here. I gotta get this gun.
Well,
I'm
it's
like,
also just like the poor guy, they cut his wings first thing in this
yeah,
movie. We never really actually get to see him fulfilling his potential.
yeah,
And then he never actually gets to do anything.
yeah.
He
He's
doesn't
like,
survive. He's like,
oh,
he's just kind of like our bleeding lamb. This
he
poor
gets
guy.
bopped by Blair seemingly for some. He
He's
just
just
had a
fucking
bonk.
woozy in
It's
the
just oh
corner.
Lord, poor guy had a rough go and he went out rough.
Poor little guy.
Well, let's get on to little iconic moments. Let's get into the real meat of this here. Iconic moment number one, I guess that we got written down.
In no
Uh,
particular order.
yeah. But just first one to talk about here, even though we've already talked about it, the whole movie's iconic for like people like us, people who love it, horror fans and all that. It's just insane. But Bennings, that transformation.
Well, it's just really so he gets the thing transforming into Bennings is interrupted. The thing doesn't get a full time to completely transform.
Hmm.
Um, so Bennings, when they find him like in the middle, he is Bennings, but has like yeah, like the lobster claws.
Yeah.
And then he runs outside, and then they surround him, and he like turns, and he just wails this
Yeah.
just
Oh,
Oh,
it's so
really
good.
kind of eerie, creepy scream. It's yeah, it's just kind of like an uncanny thing because it like looks directly like
Hmm.
the
mm-hmm.
person, but isn't the person, and that's kind of something that's always fear creating a fear.
Hmm.
Um, this is like my partner, like this is one of her favorite moments from the movie. It's something that she like saw as a kid, and it like really like freaked her out, which I think is fair.
Yeah.
Really quick to talk about Bennings too. I didn't really notice it until this most recent rewatch.
Mm.
He's not like set up to be like a bad guy per se, but he
Mm-mm.
isn't like. I mean, it's not like oh, like we're happy Bennings died, but he's probably the least likable character
He's
because
very neutral.
well, he like when Knowles is listening to like Stevie Wonder, he's like, "Can you
Yeah.
turn that crap down?" And it's like, well, you could have just asked him like, "Hey, can you
Yeah.
like I turn it down just a little bit?" But he calls it crap.
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
and
Hey.
He
then
did get shot, so he
he
was a
did get
little
shot.
grouchy. I would
Oh
be
yeah.
upset too.
Nah, nah,
He did.
nah.
He says that, yeah. And then also he's the one that like says like, "Hey, can you get that dog out of there?" And then put the dog in. Then so Clark puts the dog back into the kennel,
Hmm.
and that's what kickstarts everything. Whereas like, I guess if the dog is within sight of everybody, maybe this doesn't
Yeah.
happen. I guess
Did
it's because it would have gotten Palmer already, but
True.
did the thing bite him? Is that why he
Bite?
yelled? Or is it because it just bumped into him and it scared him?
What are you
When
talking about?
he's the dog. When the thing is the dog and it bumps into Bennings, right?
oh, they're
Are there
playing
is
poker, and
yeah.
it bumps into him underneath the table.
I
Yeah.
was like, it's one thing if it bumped into him, it's a whole other thing if it bit him.
Yeah.
Nah, it's just
Which,
bumped.
yeah, I was like, "Eee,
Yeah,
yikes."
and they're already like trying to figure it out, but this like Bennings thing kind of kicks off like it really like kicks in an overdrive that they're like the who done it part is they're like, oh God,
Mm-hmm.
it could be any one of us, and like, we really got to start to figure this out, and like how we're gonna figure it out and all this stuff. It's an insane moment. The sound, the scream is so good. It's so otherworldly. It's so just like, yeah, bone chilling. Seeing this as like a kid, I would
Oh
have
my
freaked out.
God, no.
I would have been absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, this is the part where they really start to just like pop off. Or in modern terms, they start to crash out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dog, I need to get out of here. You're the thing. You're the thing. You're the thing. I'm not the thing. I need to leave. And it's just like the paranoia that it brings, I just think is so good because they don't know who to trust in the audience. We have no idea. We have like
Mm-hmm.
hints, but like it feels like hints that they give us don't even turn out to be true. But
Mm-hmm.
like what we see later, and it's just like how would we know? How would they know? Paranoia. I don't know how they didn't like everyone together at the same time.
That was my thing. I'm like, don't fucking split up.
I gotta
You're
piss.
watching me piss.
Everyone in the bathroom with me.
No private moments
I
exist
want
any
eyes on
longer.
everyone. Y'all coming in the bathroom with,
Mm-hmm.
because we ain't
Mm-hmm.
we ain't playing this game no more. Oh man, I don't know, and also I don't know. Maybe maybe I'm thinking too much. Uh, but like the thing, it's true form. Bert, I don't know what you feel about it, but I'm like, they say it infects or they say it absorbs. I'm not sure what it does exactly because they say like it makes a perfect copy. So it's like, does it consume them and then copy them? Is that what it is? Or, but then it kind of looked like with Benny's, it was like infecting him. I don't know. I'm just like, and also, how the hell did it fly a spaceship? What does this thing look like normally?
I don't know.
That's actually a really good question. I haven't spent too much time thinking about the spaceship because it's like,
Yeah.
how does it have a space? And actually, yeah, because this thing is not anthropomorphic, which is one thing
Hmm.
that I love about it. It's like very, like, it truly feels like an alien type creature.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, how would it like fly a spaceship that doesn't fully make sense? But also, I mean,
Not well, I
we don't
guess.
know what its full, like its actual form is, so it might have an actual form,
Hmm.
and then it just is like this perfect
Mm-hmm.
imitation creator. And I think what it does is it consumes, like for Bennings, it consumed him,
Yeah.
and then it was starting to create the copy of Bennings.
Hmm.
Um, and it
Then
just
it
didn't
ran
have
out of
time.
ink. Darn it.
Uh-oh. Gotta call HP. This thing, the aliens just like, God, this shit costs so much money. What the
My
fuck?
theory on that would be I think the form is going to be tentacle based because it's
Like
compact
bug based?
ish. So like the squirmy worms that come out of
Yeah,
everything.
I do
I
love
think it's
that.
mostly that with like a
Oh,
nucleus of some kind. So it's just kind of like a brain. So it's able to be small
oh,
and
you think so?
compact in the spaceship and manipulate everything simultaneously. As opposed to being like you were saying, more anthropomorphic. I think it's more of just
Hmm.
like a homogenous kind of wiggly mess.
Hmm.
and it's
Do
very
they?
wet.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so wet.
And I guess they don't need to procreate.
No, they just mimic things, I guess. Why would
How
you
many
know?
things are there?
There's one the thing. It says the thing.
Well, it could be many
I'm gonna
things.
walk up to the chalkboard and I'm gonna say the thing, and then I'm gonna put an S at the
Hmm.
end. What do y'all think? Oh shit, let's go. The
That would get
thing.
too fucking complicated.
Just like James Cameron, Alien. All right.
Aliens.
Oh, uh, um, I know it's like thinking too much into it, and honestly, like I don't even really want an answer. But it's just funny, like me picturing it. It's like, what does this thing look like?
Blech.
Do they do it in the prequel? Because what do they find in the ice? Do you remember?
Oh God.
Oh yeah, did they show a body?
I think there's something in there, but I can't
There is,
remember.
there's the cutout when they find it in the
Hmm.
1982. Like there's something that was jettisoned from. It's been a while since I've seen the
Yeah,
prequel,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they find something cut out of the ice. So it's not
Hmm.
just the spaceship, but then there's also another chunk, another
Hmm.
block
Yeah,
where something's missing.
because I
Hmm.
know they hypothesized in the thing that he had like tried to escape. I don't know why I'm gendering this thing,
They,
but
them, watch yourself.
they had escaped and froze before they were able to really gain any traction.
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes me wonder, were they trying to morph to the environment while escaping? And so we just kind of have this in between thing again? Or do we actually get to see the true form? We
Who
will never
knows?
know.
Who
Well,
knows?
so this is where the prequel. I don't know. In the 1950s movie,
Uh-huh.
it's very anthropomorphic.
Yeah.
Essentially, um, it's like a man, but they keep calling it vegetable matter. So essentially, it's like
Okay.
it looks like a man,
Uh-huh.
but it's like a plant.
Like lettuce.
Yeah, so like it doesn't have like a normal sort of like human physiological system. It like works like a plant, and so
Huh.
it again, it's a 50s movie. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
goofy. There's a lot more like the plot revolves necessarily less around like the thing and more about like these different like characters.
Hmm.
And like there's like a love, you know,
Oh.
there's like a army captain in love with a secretary, like sort of thing.
I
But
was also going to bring that up. I think it's very interesting. And, I guess it's not a new thing with media. This is an all male film.
A lot of dudes.
There's no love interest, and it's kind of untraditional in that way
We
with
don't need
horror.
it.
There's no scream queen. It's just a bunch of dudes
It's
being
just Kurt.
guys.
Yeah.
It's just Kurt and that iconic beard.
Yeah. Kurt, I
Looking
mean,
great.
we hear a woman's voice in the chess master,
Yeah, that
chess
doesn't count.
wizard.
He calls her a bitch and pours whiskey in her motherboard. So, yeah,
Hey, get her out of here.
that's ditch the
Women?
skirt.
No, no, no. I want to see men. That's all I want. You know what's funny? In a little research, and we're not going to get too much into it, but in a little research, there is a reading of this that is they talked about how it's like very homoerotic, I think, because it's
Hmm.
like all dudes and they have to like get into each other and like they have to like what did they say? They said the crux of it is that they can't show weakness to each other
Hmm.
and like say like I'm the thing, like they
I'm
can't show
scared.
weakness or be scared or vulnerable to each other, and that heightens things and makes it far worse because if they had
Hmm.
like been able to talk things out, it would have worked out, but they're also macho masculine and like
Hmm.
anti-feminine that they all fucked each other up and everyone dies. They could have just
Hooray!
talked about it. But
Isn't that always the lesson?
ain't it always the way? Let's get to the big scenes here. The infirmary scene, the blood testing. I mean, we kind of get almost back to back. Just like this movie starts banging, and man,
Hmm.
that scene with the clamps.
Ha ha!
yeah, so I mean, leading up to it, it's interesting because I think there's some, suspicion that we have that Palmer is one of the things, but I
Yeah,
don't think there's much suspicion about Norris.
right.
being one. And it's interesting too because they actually nominate Norris to be like sort of in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
he's just like, I don't think I'm up to it, fellas.
Yeah.
And that it's kind of interesting. And then he dies ostensibly, and then it's interesting because like the thing is trying to get its victims when they're alone, but it chooses to attack in front of everybody at that particular
Yeah.
moment.
The grand reveal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know why, but my God, the effects going on are just insane. Yeah, so like his chest cavity, like he's Doc is trying to jolt him back to life, and then his chest cavity just opens and clamps the Doc's hands, and then his
Ah,
head like
Oh
starts
god.
stretch.
going
With the
up.
tongue
Honestly,
just
that looks very nice. I need somebody to do that to my neck for a little bit.
it's like the
Woo!
guillotine or the stretching thing from like
Mm-hmm.
medieval times, but
Being
with just his
drawn.
neck.
Yeah.
And just so it's like his head's going off, and then like creatures coming up out of like the chest cavity,
Mhm.
and then they're trying to get the flamethrower to work at that point, and it's just like this is like practical effects just being showcased to
Mm-hmm.
their maximalist effect. It's so impressive and it's so scary. And again, like one of the things that I love about it is that it's just bonkers. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what I guess. I mean, maybe I'm not in the creative business, so maybe I'm not like meant to be doing this anyway. But it's just not how I would envision like this kind of thing happening. Like the fucking like the chest cavity acting as like clamps.
Yeah.
It's just so bizarre and
Oh yeah.
funky and weird. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess I mean um if we're going to talk about like this film being panned when it came out, I
Hmm.
mean there's a couple of reasons why it was but I could see one of them being like what? Like why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't even question it. The time that I saw, I mean, I wasn't alive in 1982, but like,
Yeah.
I don't even question it. Like, I watch it and I'm like, no, this is just, it's just so crazy and
Yeah.
weird. And it's what the thing is. It's so weird and it's so inscrutable and you don't
Uh-huh.
know what it is and how to figure it out. So, that particular scene is, I think like Shudder did that like top 100 scariest movie moments.
Yeah.
I think it was last year around Halloween,
Hmm.
and this was number two, if I remember correctly,
Nice.
on like
Damn.
the 100 scariest things. Which again, like this movie was panned at one
That's
point, and
crazy,
now
Mm-hmm.
it's
man.
considered like the scary. I think they had Texas Chainsaw number one,
Yeah.
and you know, anyhow, it's incredible. I don't
Oh,
even have
yeah,
anything
man.
necessarily academic to say
It
about it. It's just incredible.
and it's just like you were saying, it's so I think the reason it works so well and why it's like such a good scare is because like you were saying, Bird, in the movie and universe, this is so like out of left field from what the thing has done. Like it's never done anything so blatant. It's
Mm-hmm.
always, it wants to get them alone, and that's what they say. It's like it needs to get us alone to like absorb us, transform, whatever. And then yeah, in this scene, it's just like, I got your ass, dog. Like, guess what? It just I'm here now. What's up, man? And for some
I
reason decides to take on everyone at once. So it's like, yeah, it's just so you're not expecting it. The first time you see it, you're just like, oh my God, what in the world? Like, what? I didn't know that it would do this. Why would it do this? Why would it be so blatant? But man, it is an amazing moment.
well, my whole thing, it's funny because I never really thought it was. I've never thought that was a very surprising scene, other than like the jump scare aspect of it,
Yeah.
because it's a self-preservation tactic.
Yeah.
It's about to potentially die because it's being electrocuted.
I
So it's
guess you're
like,
right.
well, fuck, I'm cornered. I have to fight back now.
Yeah.
So that's how I was. I always just looked at it like that.
Yeah, it could be like a final like a last ditch effort
Mm-hmm.
of like I need to live and
Like
I don't
those,
know like a cornered
reminds
rat.
me. Oh, I was thinking about the lizards who squirt blood out of their eyes.
Yeah,
Ah!
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, get the fuck away from me.
Speaking
I'm
of
about to
blood,
die. Ooh, gooey.
Nice little transition there.
There you
That's
go.
a nice little layup into the fucking dunk. This blood testing scene, one of the most iconic scenes ever. It I mean, they said they were going to test the blood. Someone messes with it, right? They lose all that blood. So they kind of just like, this is like the height of their paranoia. I mean, McCready, brilliant mind, was just like, hey, this, which is wild. Because they say like if like one cell of it survives, it can infect people. I'm like, damn, this thing is insane.
Hmm.
But McCready's like, hey, if it works like that, then I guess its blood would also try and survive. You know, like you were saying, Gorgeous, is if it gets attacked in its blood, it would try and do something,
Hmm.
even if it's just blood. So it's like, hey, let's get blood from everyone, and let's test it, put a little heat into it, which I love that like fire is the ultimate equalizer in everything.
Hmm.
Like, what's its weakness? Gotta be fire. In
Hmm.
any universe on any planet, apparently there's no like fire planets with like just like
That's too
which
chaotic.
that's too much.
Too much.
But yeah, fire just kills everything. They're like, hey, let's test the blood, and man, it plays out so well, and it's just like, and McCready at this point, you don't even trust him,
Mm-mm.
and he's just like, God, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna pop off? Who's it gonna be? How many of them are the thing? At this point, I think when I first watched it, I was like, it's gotta be like all of them. You know, like how is it not like infected? Because everyone, similar to Scream, I guess, in that way, it plays so well with like in Scream, like everyone's gone and then they all come back after the kill. And in this film, it's like everyone had the opportunity to be infected.
Hmm.
They're all like, you know, and they're all don't trust each other. You guys just gotta talk.
That's what I'm
Just
saying.
talk it out, guys. Come on.
Well, it's interesting because the character Fuchs talks about how he doesn't think that they should eat meals together and that everybody should eat like out of
Yeah.
cans because like of the contamination. So I mean, yeah, when you're really thinking about it, it's like it does seem like everybody should be infected
Hmm.
fairly quickly. But um, yeah, the blood scene. So one, like before, we actually see like the blood react, yeah, like you don't know if you can trust McCready. You also have no idea if like this is actually going to do anything. Like
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
you can easily see it being like, oh, this is not going to like do anything, and like nobody's blood reacts, and then like nobody knows anything.
Right.
But then um, Palmer's blood is the first one to
Hmm.
react. Oh, also I want to go back. So they test Clark's blood because Clark tries to like
Yeah.
kill McCready and McCready like shoots him in the head. Because at this point, McCready
I
has
hate
been
Clark, by the way. Just gotta say that.
I'm
Hate
gonna
that
tell you,
man.
and I will say this also. I was like, Clark is infected 100%.
I
That
know.
man is that man is acting like a man who got bit by a zombie, and it's like, nah, I'm good. That
Hmm.
man is hiding something. Why you gotta be so weird, Clark? But he did love those dogs. They're like, oh, Blair killed all the dogs. It's like, not my dogs, man. He ran off immediately. Poor guy.
well when that scene we're talking about where the dog walks into the room and you see the shadow
Mm.
of the person. I think the implication that most people would jump to is that it's Clark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and it turns out that it's not. But yeah, so they don't trust McCready because Knowles finds his like jacket torn up,
Yeah.
and which like the thing like planted and
Which
plotted.
is
Which is
it's just
fucking
like, wow,
wild.
this man scheming?
He's playing
Like,
fucking 40 chess.
yeah, it's like who is this guy? What is what is he doing back on the home planet? Was he like a career criminal? Is all of
Hmm.
like the things are they all criminals? Like what's going on
Maybe.
here? You know, why was he scheming so hard? Because it's like one thing to like, infect people. This man's planting evidence? What are we doing here? He ripped it up? It was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make this look nice.
Or it was somebody who wanted McCready dead.
Ah, mm.
Maybe it wasn't the thing.
That's true.
Childs?
I mean, Childs
It's
and him had
funny.
beef.
It's funny because seemingly no one like Childs pops off, I guess. Because they were like, you're too hot-headed to be leader. But like
Hmm.
McCready immediately like get Childs as soon as like something went wrong with the dogs. I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird dynamic.
Hmm.
But yeah, so seeing right, so Clark, when McCready comes back in
Mm.
and is, trying to take control and everything like that, Clark tries to kill him, and
Yeah.
McCready like shoots him before he does. So then we get to the blood scene, and they're testing the blood, and Clark is proven to have been human.
Yeah.
And then Childs is like, "Oh, so like Clark was human. I guess that makes you a murderer."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Hmm.
no, because Clark was trying to murder him.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, that was self-defense, but
This
whatever.
man stood his ground. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty
I
funny.
didn't know
And
Antarctica was a stand your ground continent, but
hey, it's got its own rules. And obviously he doesn't respond, but I love the McCready. It doesn't even like give him the time of day. He's like,
hmm.
whatever. Next blood.
Yeah, like Palmer now, and then it's Palmer,
Yeah, it goes.
his blood. Yeah, like
So
freaks out,
scary.
and then Palmer starts transforming. It was like crying blood.
That's insane. I love how like in one frame he's like kind of like whoa whoa whoa, and then the next frame just
Yeah,
it's like
essentially
full
melting.
like oh my yeah. And I love that the guys next to him, obviously,
They're
realistically, was
freaking the
like, get me the
fuck
fuck
out.
out of here, man. Like tied down next to this thing. Oh. And then we see poor Windows get got. He hesitates. So I mean, come on, Windows.
I
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, throw a little fuego out there, man.
poor
Yep.
Windows. Yeah, you had mentioned the dummy before. So
So
I
funny.
agree with you. I think it's like kind of like funny.
Like
But
the only part that's like kind of like
That's a
maybe
little
maybe
rough.
not the best.
there's also my partner mentioned this. She was like, she also thinks it's like kind of so like non-human like it's so clearly non-human that it's almost
Yeah,
like weird. Because she had
yeah,
mentioned like
yeah.
in A Nightmare on Elm Street when like the mom gets like tossed out the window and that's clearly a dummy.
Yes.
And she's kind of just like, yeah, it's actually like kind of eerie because it's looks so unhuman. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, Windows, one of the better characters
Get
even
chomped.
ago.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, what's interesting is that once it comes down to the final, because in that scene, Windows goes,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
Palmer,
Palmer, and
obviously.
we're left with Gary. We're
Uh-huh.
left with McCready. We're left with Childs, and we're left with Knowles.
I
Yeah.
Uh,
like Knowles. Knowles is called Knowles because he's from New Orleans, right?
I
Oh yeah,
don't.
that was your reading of it. Yeah.
That's my reading of it because he like speaks in
Knowles.
like Louisiana kind of like French sometimes. Like he
Is
uses
that what you
like
took it as?
yeah, he uses like Louisiana like jargon. So when they
Knowles.
say Knowles, it's like Nolans. That's how I was like,
I mean,
I
it
like
could
him.
be. I don't really know. I
I don't
thought it was
know.
just his name, but I could totally be wrong.
I don't know, but I will read it like that.
Yeah, it's interesting too because I feel like Knowles just kind of disappears.
Mm-hmm.
He literally does disappear. This is actually um because so actually there's five left. It's those four in Blair, which we'll talk about in a second.
Fucking
Oh
Blair, you
yeah.
motherfucker.
He doesn't fucking count.
Also, Gary, that motherfucker was infected in my mind too. I don't trust your ass at all. But anyways.
Also with a name like Gary. Man.
Yeah,
Hmm.
everybody's got like cool ass nicknames like,
I'm Gary.
there's Windows and there's Gary. Like um but yeah, so with Knowles,
Hmm.
so I mean I guess we'll get there because I feel like we want to kind of cover like the last few things before we get to that point because like we want to talk about everybody's fate.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
so we'll get to Knowles, but you're right. Like he does just disappear. And there's
Hmm.
a crack like a story reason you could read into it, and then there's also like a literal filmmaking reason why
Oh
he just
really?
disappears. Yeah.
Huh.
So,
Ah. Well,
um,
yeah, we get to the scene where, we figured it out. They seemingly like have killed the thing, except they gotta go test Blair. So
Fucking
let's
Blair.
go get Blair. He's all, he's hanging out with his buddy Noose in the tool shed. He's getting real intimate with him. Let's go figure out what's going on. course, when they get there, doors wide open. Fantastic. Love to see it. Could not be better news. And then they see Blair has seemingly, they say it's Blair, been building a spaceship
Huh?
under the tool shed.
I'm sorry,
And it's
what?
like, well, I guess Blair's been infected, or Blair's the thing. He's being weird. He's disappeared. Now what the fuck do we do?
Mm-hmm.
And then Knowles looks outside. They explicitly told Childs to just wait in one spot. He takes off. What the hell are we doing here, man?
Breaking
Yeah,
rules.
What
this
is this?
this would be the moment where it's like, okay, first off, you should have known that it was a bad idea to put Blair by himself
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because
that's what the thing wants.
exactly. So like Blair is just like captive towards that.
Hmm.
So it's like you couldn't have just like stuffed him into, like a central area and had him be completely tied up so everybody can see him.
Yeah.
So there's that issue. And the second issue being, why wouldn't they all four of them go to get Blair together? Why would they just
Why,
leave
why is it
Child?
a three-person job?
Right.
You got four?
So it just like at that point everybody needs to stay together, but they decide like Childs, you stay here, and then yeah, Null sees Childs leaving,
Yeah.
and then that then gets
Oh my
to okay,
God.
well, does Childs get got by Blair?
Mhm.
We don't know. Maybe the ending scene will tell us, but
Yeah, everything starts to pop
How?
off. They're like,
How did
what?
he dig a fucking tunnel through
Ah,
ice and make a goddamn
because here's the
spaceship?
thing. He made his hands in the
Ha ha
fucking claws and was just saying
ha!
ding, ding, ding. He put his hands together and it became an excavator drill. He just,
Like a fucking cartoon. Okay.
yeah,
well, yeah, Fuchs reading from Blair's diary says it could have been a million different forms on a million different planets before this.
Look at that.
And he chose Ice Eater.
Hmm.
And Fuchs just like he gets God as well, right?
Poor
Well,
guy.
so Fuchs, he actually the implication is that Fuchs kills himself because
Oh,
he thinks that
oh
he's
yeah.
about to get got, or he just figures I'm not going to make it, and I don't
Yeah.
want to
Me, that would be my move. I'm like, I'm not even playing this game, guys. I'm taking myself
Hey
out of
man,
the equation.
y'all don't need my blood, man. I'm good.
Bye.
Hey Blair, where's your pal Noose? I need to become real acquainted with him.
Nah,
Yeah,
he
but
burned himself. That was
it's
the right
it's pretty
call.
badass though, because well, I don't know. McCready's just like, hey, we're not making it out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, guys, we're all gonna die here, and we
Yeah.
should, because this thing can't spread. Blair
Mm-hmm.
was like, we can't let this thing get out. That's why he popped off. And McCready's like, yeah, I guess he was right because we're not gonna make it, but we may as well heat things up while we go out. So they just start blowing things up, Molotovs, lighting everything up as their like last stand of like, we're burning everything. Hopefully we can find the thing and burn it. Because they theorize the thing at this point is just like, I'm not gonna make it out of here either. Got to take a nap.
That
Let's
sounds
just
nice.
go on ice and we'll try again next time. So this is where, we start to lose the last boys. We start to
Aw.
lose the last of them. They just start to get picked off. And who's the first? Is Niles the first to disappear?
No,
Yeah.
so Gary gets got first.
Mm-hmm. Remember the
Oh, with the
face?
yeah.
Yeah,
Why
where
can you
like
do that?
Ugh, the fingers and the face.
How can
Ugh.
how,
right,
how come he can turn human skin into like jelly?
I don't know.
Blah. I didn't
but
like that.
and then Knowles, because they essentially split off,
Uh-huh.
which again,
Uh.
bad idea. So then
That's what I'm saying.
It's
God
like
damn it.
Scooby-Doo. You know? Fred Jones over here is like, hey, let's split up, guys. I figured it out. The thing likes us alone. Let's give him what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so then with Knowles, Knowles disappears and it is not explained what happens to him. Now
Yeah.
the implication would be that he um also gets got by Blair and they just don't show the scene,
Yeah.
or when the last big explosion when McCready is
Oh.
fighting the thing for the last time, that like that massive explosion takes out Knowles.
Right.
But the practical, like the filmmaking reason that Knowles disappears is actually a budget constraint.
What?
Damn.
Yeah, so they
Nah,
actually
man.
wanted to, yeah, I know he really, so they wanted to do a similar kind of scene as with Gary that, he was gonna, that Blair gets him as well.
Yeah.
Like he gets both of them.
Uh-huh.
But they just didn't have the time or the money to do more practical effects for that scene. So
Dang.
they didn't do anything for Knowles and he just disappears.
Poor guy.
So which sucks because it's like I would rather it just be like, I don't know, it's open ended. Like maybe
Yeah.
Knowles made it.
Maybe he
Maybe
survived.
yeah, or maybe Knowles is the thing, and like because we don't find him, he's
Oh shit.
maybe he gets
He's on
frozen in
ice. Yeah.
time. But that's not really what I mean.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're to read into that, then the implication is that Knowles dies just like Gary does.
Yeah.
So the only
Yeah.
person that's left is McCready and then Childs at the end.
Oh, where's your ass been, huh? Oh, I ran off. I thought I saw something.
Bullshit.
Uh-huh. You sound real childish right now. You think I'm gonna believe your lies? Yeah, we get the big explosion. First of all, again, where is this like animatronic? Where is this practical? This man Blair, gigantic like thing monster, like, hey, what up? And also, guess what? I got that dog in me, man. I got that dog in me. You thought I forgot. I got this dog right here. Gets blown up. Which is I don't know. It's funny that the thing is like sometimes he's just like, I'm gonna show off.
Let me flex on you real
I'm gonna
quick.
get real big. I don't know what he was thinking he was gonna do, but he got real big.
I mean, the sandworm effect is wild with the floorboards.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that was like, why
I
has he
was
been
like,
doing that
what
before?
the fuck?
Yeah. That was insane. I was like, what is this, Tremors?
Also, it's like, does the thing have like a cooldown period? It would seem that way where it like
How
needs to
quick?
rest. Like,
Yeah.
how does it, sustain its energy?
Right. That is a
Because
good.
maybe that's the reason that we're not constantly seeing it on a large scale.
Uh-huh. That's true. It's very interesting. But
Does it
yeah,
only survive off of blood? Could explain the goo factor.
Bird, take us there. Child shows up. What you
Yeah,
think?
so it's this, you know, do we think that Childs is actually Childs or is he the thing?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he and McCready talking about, you know, well, fire's got everything warmed up. It won't
Yeah.
last long, and neither will we.
Yeah.
McCready's like, maybe we shouldn't. Um, and so it's essentially them, and then they share a drink,
Yeah.
and so it's, I would say like the easy reading that would be like they both survived that they killed the thing, but they're both gonna die because
Yeah.
once the thing goes out, they're gonna freeze to death.
Yeah.
But the the popular theory is that Childs is the thing and that he's going to be greedy. There's a couple of theories as to what why we could like intimate that. My favorite one though is that when McCready hands the bottle of liquor to Childs,
Yeah.
Childs takes a drink and then McCready like smirks.
Yeah.
And so some people have theorized because what are they doing before they're
Oh,
blowing stuff up with like Molotov cocktails?
Yeah.
kerosene.
Right. So the theory is that this is actually kerosene and he's giving it to Childs and it's like a test. And if
Yeah.
Childs drinks it and doesn't react to it, then it's like, oh, you're the thing. And then maybe he kills him at the end
Burns him up.
because he drinks the kerosene and doesn't recognize that it's kerosene.
Yeah.
So that's a really popular theory.
I like that theory.
My reading is that Childs is human.
Ooh.
And I'll actually bring in the prequel for this. So in the prequel, one of the ways that their version of like the blood test that they do is they use Like, do you remember this? Like they use like the cavities, like the fillings as because
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it's like the thing can't replicate metal.
Right.
It's
Damn.
like building itself.
Yeah, it's
Um,
all organic.
right. So which is also a callback to the vegetable matter of like the 1950s
Mm,
movie.
Oh shit.
So so if you look at that scene,
Mhm.
Child still has his earring in. So
Mm.
that could be, if you're reading it that way, then you would say, well, Child's still human because it wouldn't have been able to replicate
Right.
his earring, the metal earring. Um, Not that this necessarily matters, but Keith David was asked about like what he thought, and Keith David was like, my interpretation that is Child's is human.
Yeah.
hmm
Nice.
So, the popular theories, about, what happens in this end scene, I think they all revolve around Childs.
Uh-huh.
If I were to entertain, I would actually throw it the other way, and I would say I actually could see McCready being the thing at the end.
Yeah.
And my reasoning for that would be he kind of gives up pretty quickly, where it's like,
Yeah.
like, hey, like we have the fire going, it won't last long, and McCready's like, well, maybe we shouldn't survive.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the thing trying to say, hey, like, yeah, like let's not survive, let's freeze. Like, let
Yeah.
me come back in a further, in a future.
Right.
I mean, really, if I was to give like my true reading, I think that
Uh-huh.
they're both human at the end. But
Yeah.
um, I think I actually kind of would believe like McCready being the thing more than Childs,
Uh-huh.
just based off of like I do kind of like that wrinkle of that it can't, imitate metal.
Yeah.
hmm
I think that's a
That's
cool,
nice.
and it makes sense because again, it connects like the 50s film to like the vegetable
Yeah.
matter kind of thing. So
Uh-huh.
Fun.
Yeah, it's interesting. The I do like the reading that they're both human, and it's just kind of like because ultimately it reads back and feeds back into that paranoia of like we could very well just both be human, but we're not going to talk about it. There's no way we're going to
hmm
know. We're just resigned to our fate, and this is it. We got it, but we're just gonna die here, and
Yeah.
it also is kind of like it's the bleak ending, but it's also like the sacrificial ending of like we did what we set out to do. We protected the world from the thing, and
hmm
now we're just gonna hang out.
And freeze to
Two
death.
guys who know each other, just dying together after going through this whole thing.
The energy at the end, it reminds me a lot of The Lighthouse.
Yeah,
Kind of like that paranoid, like, kind of resolution of like, well, we're both fucking crazy.
yeah,
Like, we've gone through hell and we're just kind of stuck together now.
uh-huh. It's interesting. And doing some research, I've got a couple things here that I could say.
Okay, we'll tell Buddy
That
then.
yeah,
Give
yeah.
Buddy his credit.
Well, Buddy did his little research.
There we go.
First of all, we've got Dean Cundy. He worked on the film. I can't remember what he did. Let me take a quick look. Let's give him his accolades here. Dean Cundy was the cinematographer. Yes. And he says, which you believe him or not, but he says that he deliberately provided subtle illumination to the eyes of the uninfected characters, which
Mm.
apparently is absent from Child's at the end of the film. So apparently, if you look in their eyes, if they're the thing, they have no like light in their eyes.
Shine.
Yeah, similarly, which I guess is funny, like hearing what you said about Null's bird. Similarly, others have noted that at the end, Child's his like breath isn't popping off the way the way that McCready's is, because McCready's talking, you can see his breath for miles, and then Child's is talking and there's no breath, so they're like, oh, maybe that's the thing. But it's funny because I guess the production crew said, I just couldn't get his breath to appear, which is weird. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean you couldn't get it? But they were like, yeah, it's just a problem with the production. We just couldn't see it. Maybe he was too close to the heat or something. I
Mm.
don't know. But I guess there's an alternate ending
Huh.
that Carpenter was thinking of using. Uh, and he considered having McCready be infected. And then there's also an alternate ending where McCready is rescued, and then he's shown to not be infected. So apparently he was
Oh,
playing around with it and all that stuff. I'll give you the words because we heard from Keith David Childs. I'll give you the words for Kurt Russell. He said that analyzing the scene for clues is missing the point, in his opinion. He said that him and Carpenter worked on the ending of the movie together for a long time, and they were both bringing the audience. They thought they were bringing the audience back to square one. Where at the end of the day, that's the position that the people were in. They didn't know anything. They didn't know who they were, so he
hmm.
thought that after all these years, the movie's gotten its due, and that people were able to get past the horrificness of the monster to see what the movie was about, which is just ultimately paranoia. But the fun part about all this is like everyone's saying like, no, it doesn't matter, whatever, whatever. John Carpenter himself has teased that he does in fact know who the thing is, but he won't tell us.
That dick.
So it's like, yeah, well, Kurt Russell saying it doesn't matter, but the creator himself is like, oh, there's one of them.
But I know the answer.
I know the answer, and I think he said that like on a late night show, that like someone would have to pay him like a bunch of money for him to like tell the answer or something like that. But
Hmm.
like, yeah, like there's a definitive answer in his mind. He's just not going to tell us.
It's like how Seal won't tell us what Kiss
Ah,
from a
Kiss from
Rose
a
is about.
Rose.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is that song about?
So I think
Mm.
let's end off on this. It's insane that this movie was panned and hated when it was released. I'll start us off with a quote from John Carpenter himself. He said, I take every failure hard. The one I took the hardest was The Thing. My career would have been different if that had been a big hit. The movie was hated, even by science fiction fans. They thought that I had betrayed some kind of trust, and the piling on was insane. Even the original movie's director, Christian Nyby, was dissing me. Some reviews called the quintessential moron movie of the 80s, and that it was boring. Roger Ebert considered the film to be scary, but offered nothing original beyond the special effects, which is, I don't know, insane. David Ensign of Newsweek felt the film confused the use of effects with creating suspense, and that it lacked drama by sacrificing everything at the altar of gore. It seemed to be the case that people for the most part, loved the special effects, hated that they were gross, and thought the movie sucked when it first came out, which
Wild.
is pretty fucking crazy. You know, like in the year 2024.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's insane. And Carpenter said it cost him directing the movie Firestarter. He was a
Oh,
he
with
was,
Drew Barrymore?
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
He was supposed to direct it, but after this movie failed, the studio came to him and was like, put their hand on his shoulder and should get to stepping, man. Get on out of here. A lot of people say that they think when this movie came out, there was like a recession going on, and that
Mm.
audiences wanted like uplifting stories. And as Bert said earlier, and I think you said it too, Gorgeous. I mean, we've been saying this movie is just like so bleak and like
Yeah.
so like they constantly saw the word nihilistic in reviews that they felt like audiences just like did not want like this sad, like just hopeless movie.
Well, do you know the other Alien movie that came out in 1982?
It was E.T., right?
Oh yeah,
Correct.
fuck E.T.
Fucking
Right, which
dumb.
I'm not an ET fan
Me
either.
either.
Yeah,
That
not
stupid little alien.
but like ET is like this wholesome family film and like very
Yeah.
much like supposed to
I
be like
think E.T. is low-key scarier than the thing. God fuck damn it. I would curb stomp that little thing.
Oh my
Ugh.
Lord.
He is horrifying.
You're a little
His
gross.
fucking neck, how it like,
I'm
I'm
not a
like,
fan of
ew,
that.
ew, 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 ew. His glowing like penis finger, no thank you.
Oh
I'm good
God.
on that. Good
Touch
on
it.
that.
Go on, touch
Ugh,
it.
I don't wanna.
Yeah.
but yeah, so I that came out the same year, and that movie was obviously like a massive hit.
Yeah.
And I do think that there was this contrast between E.T. as this like wholesome, uplifting family
Mm,
film, and then The Thing being the opposite of that.
yeah.
And so I definitely think that had something to do with it too.
I think there's
Yeah.
also like a cultural aspect of this, right? Because we're coming out of the era of satanic panic. Serial killers like had
Oh, the
just had their
70s.
peak.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like people really want to bury their heads in the sand and not kind of deal with the horrors of, obviously this isn't reality, but
I
people are
mean,
the
it
monsters at the end
reflects.
of the day.
Yeah, it reflects reality. So
Hmm.
yeah, most people just say it's and I think Carpenter, let's see. No, I didn't write it down, but Carpenter also has a quote where he says like he knew the thing was gonna be big, but he thought that it was just like too big for its time.
Hmm.
Like he knew it was gonna be something real good. Like he could tell, damn, I'm cooking here. But it just when the time it came out, it was almost like the turn like the audience wasn't ready. The world wasn't ready for the thing. It's just like wasn't the right time.
Hmm.
So to contrast that, nowadays, first of all, home video releases really made the thing pop off, and it became like a cult classic. When people sort of like were able to buy it, rent it, bring it home, it did great with audiences. Then people started to turn their thinking of it. Audiences loved it. They said it was fantastic. It's like it started to become a cult classic. Nowadays, in 2024, it feels like it's insane because this movie feels like universally beloved by like
Hmm.
everyone, like horror fans. It's even a movie that I think transcends horror to where like a lot of people who don't like horror love the thing and are like, wow,
Hmm.
it's just an amazing movie. It's just a great piece of filmmaking. A couple other things in 2008, Empire Magazine selected it as selected it as one of the 500 greatest movies of all time. At number 289, calling it a peerless masterpiece of relentless suspense, retina-wrecking visual excess, and outright nihilistic terror. It is now considered to be one of the greatest horror films ever made and a classic of the genre, which is insane that it came out and people hated this movie. Critics fucking hated it. And it's crazy that with time, it's now like hailed as one of the best ever.
Hmm.
I cannot imagine like John Carpenter's journey with this.
Oh, I would be so heartbreaking as an artist.
Hmm
You're like, I did it. And they're like, you fucking didn't. I'm like, what do you mean? I really liked it.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the thing, and there's so many like horror directors and like people who like state like this movie was like it's their reason. Like the things that John Carpenter did in this movie like inspired them to like make the movies they make, inspired them to create the horror they create. It's just weird how time, I mean, who was it? Picasso?
Mm.
Artists that whole classic of like they hate it when you're alive, love it when you're dead.
Bingo.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's sad, it's crazy. In 2011, I'll leave us with this quote here. Carpenter himself remarked that it was perhaps his favorite film from his own filmography. He lamented that it took a long time for the thing to find a wider audience, saying, "If the thing had been a hit, my career w wow. If the thing had been a hit, my career would have been different. I wouldn't have had to make the choices that I made, but I needed a job." I'm not saying I hate the movies I did. I loved making Christine, Starman, and Big Trouble in Little China, all those films, but my career would have been different.
Hmm.
Which, yeah, was very sad. But at least he lived to see the appreciation,
Oh,
which
yeah.
not a lot of artists get to do. So why don't we wrap it up by DTR in here? Let's define the relationship and see how we feel about the thing. You may not be surprised about how we feel about the thing here in this year.
Yeah, I think
Gorgeous.
we telegraphed everything, I'm pretty sure.
Well, go ahead.
Um, as somebody who is like I'm in my like adolescence. No, maybe not adolescence. I'm only like my teenage years of my horror journey.
Sure.
Um, but this is like such a good film. It's like you were saying, Bird, like it's very bonkers, off the wall, crazy. Like I've never seen anything kind of remotely similar to this film. And I think that statement in and of itself is the reason that I'm so dependent on this movie. I think it's just like such a unique vision. It's very well executed. I think the pacing of the film is brilliant.
Mhm.
between the score and the dialogue. Um, it does such a good job of showing, not telling, which I am
Mhm.
always a big fan of in the genre. And I I can't I really, really pray and hope that this is one of those films that like doesn't get a remake. Because it's just like one of those things I don't think it needs to be touched ever again. I think they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
You kind of let it stand on its pedestal and rest in the museum of time, and you appreciate it for what it is and what it will be.
Mhm.
Um, and who knows? We may get like spin-offs, more interpretations, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm grateful for this film alone,
Mhm.
and definitely show dependent on it. So yeah.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
about you, my love?
from my part, show dependent off the bat. Um, I love all the little choices, the little details in this film. I love the big choices, the big details of like, the overarching story, the way it unfolds, the practical effects, uh, are the reason, I don't think it quote unquote needs a remake, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I think what a lot of people think about with remakes is a movie that would need a remake is one that looks bad,
Mm-hmm.
and this movie does not look bad. It still looks amazing, and that's the power of practical effects. It's going to age so much better than CGI because computers and our technology keeps getting better. But that
Mm-hmm.
practical stuff that lives forever. Uh, I I love the little things. I love that scene, as I said earlier, amps me up. I love when the thing transforms. I love the way all these people act. McCready, iconic. That hat,
Mm-hmm.
iconic. And the ending, I love the theories around it, but I also love the unknown of it. I think my favorite part ultimately, um, I think ultimately my favorite reading of it is the unknown. I don't necessarily want to know which one it is. It's fun to theorize and it's fun for people to say, oh, it's Childs, it's McCready. I think I definitely prefer they don't know and we don't know. And that's the way I like it. Uh and I love that John Carpenter got to see. He got to see, it definitely would have broken my heart if if he died before he saw that people love this movie because he knew this is something good. He knew he made something good. Crazy that it wasn't appreciated, but I'm happy it's appreciated now. So absolutely show dependent on it.
I mean, so this movie, kind of like I mentioned at the beginning here, unlike Scream or Halloween, which like I had that connection to from a very early age, this
Hmm.
one's kind of one I came to relatively later.
Hmm.
But I mean, I love John Carpenter a lot. Halloween means a lot to me. I
Hmm.
love The Fog quite a lot. Uh, you know, Escape from New York is excellent. I mean, he just
Yeah.
has like multiple really, really good movies, but I
Hmm.
mean, this is just magnum opus in my opinion. It's so daring in the choices that it makes, and I kind of love the idea that this movie was panned because it was doing something that was more challenging than what
Yeah.
people wanted at the time. Like
Hmm.
that's something that I think is speaks to the artistic nature of what this is. But I think that The Thing or Suspiria are my favorite horror film of all time. They're completely different kinds of films.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
Suspiria is not even slightly logical. Suspiria is like a dream. Like we'll get
Oh
another
yeah.
podcast on that, but like
Oh
Suspiria is like a
yeah.
dream. Whereas like The Thing is like just everything that happens and it feels very human and feels very for like the choices that the humans make
Hmm.
is very human and speaks a lot about human nature.
Yeah.
And it's just it's so intelligent and the best thing that a horror movie can do. And Kaylee, you talked about this, but like the idea that you know this movie is doing way more showing, not telling, and the idea that this movie isn't just giving you easy answers and isn't trying to delve into some unnecessary backstory that takes away from the mystery and the horror. Because like I'll use the movie Us as an example, which is like a movie that I
Mm-hmm.
think could have been really good, but the movie spends way too much time trying to explain the motivations for like
Yeah.
the doppelgangers.
Hmm.
And it's like it's trying to do some sort of weird social commentary that I don't really know what it is, and it's not really effective. And I'm not trying to. It's not a bad movie. I like Jordan Peele, but it's. I'm just using that as an example because that movie I think had so much potential, and it was just way too much like over explaining.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie doesn't do that. And it's allowed to be weird, and it's allowed to be unique, and we don't need to know. And yeah, we don't have to know at the end like whether Childs or McCready are the thing or if they're human. It. But Kurt Russell said it best. What you were talking about, like that misses the point. The point is that
Yeah.
like we don't know. We don't trust anybody. We don't trust that we've resolved anything. Like there could be something else here, but
Yeah.
it's 100% show dependent on this. This is a all-time movie for me. Like I said, it's it's one or two for
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh man, what a film, huh? Honestly,
Oh
want to watch
yeah.
it again.
I know. I'm like, let's go again. We watched it like 2 hours ago, but I'm
It's
ready
it's one of those.
to
You
do it
can
again.
watch it every year and will watch it every year multiple times.
I do want, can I say one more thing? I
Yes.
think this is one of those rare occurrences and possibly a contributing factor, just a theory. Obviously, there's no backup for this.
Hmm.
But I think maybe one of the reasons that this film was so successful at home
Yeah.
is because you can feel isolated at home.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You can't feel that in a theater full of 100+ people. You
It's a
you
big
don't feel
theater.
alone. Yeah, well, I don't know. That's a big theater.
Yes.
Especially, I mean, yeah, but I remember distinctly watching this at your house, Bird, and I was just like, "Oh, I feel cold. This
Hmm.
feels lonely." Like there's an atmosphere that you get in the home
Hmm.
that you don't get in the theater space. So, just a final thought on that. But
Yeah.
It's a good thought. I think that makes a lot of sense because that's a huge part of this movie working is the isolation and claustrophobia of being
mhm.
trapped. I We saw it in theaters. They released it on that'd be the 40th anniversary.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
40th
yeah,
anniversary.
yeah.
Yeah, we saw it in theaters 40th anniversary. And what I will say that's cool to see in the theaters was like the practical effects, like on the big screen, is pretty
That's
awesome.
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to your point, though, I think that's a really good thing to pick up because I
Mm.
agree. Like you feel cold and isolated and claustrophobic when you're watching it at home and it's like pitch black. So
Mhm.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, that was that. And this is this. We want to say thank y'all for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, give us a follow. Download, spread the word, leave a rating. I think is something that people say for podcasts that I'm just now, 90 episodes in, being like, hey, maybe I should say that. Hey, tell your group of isolated men, no women, just men, that you're hanging out with and you kind of trust, but you kind of don't. There's animosity there and it's growing.
Frenemies.
Something's going on. You
We're
don't
not going to
trust
talk
any of
about it
them.
though.
But you trust them enough to say, hey, listen to this. Tell them that they can find the Show Dependent podcast, Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever you can listen to podcasts. You want to follow the page for the pod? Well, it's on Instagram, TikTok, at SHO Dependent Pod. Bird, I know you probably don't have anything to plug, but any like final message you want to give here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to plug necessarily, but I guess like you know, final few things to say. Movie I really loved watching this year was Late Night with the Devil.
Mm.
Really enjoyed it. Thought it was creative and fun and scary. So I mean, that would be one I would recommend for people to check out. I am interested to see what happens with the Exorcist
Oh,
movie
yeah.
series because
Mm-hmm.
they said David Gordon Green, you're done. We're
Oh,
not giving you
damn.
horror movies. Which like I think we all saw The Exorcist together, and we're like, I
Yeah.
don't know if people hated it. Like
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
think it was
fine.
great, but it was okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
And I was willing to like give it another, see what they were gonna do.
Oh yeah.
But they're like, nope, we're done. And they announced that they're bringing in Mike Flanagan to
Oh,
reboot it.
Flannies.
I love
Wow.
Flanagan.
Dang, they're
And I'm like,
rebooting the whole like trilogy?
yeah, so like The Exorcist
Damn.
Believer is like
God,
it's
that would hurt my feelings so hard.
Ooh,
Oh, the way I'd be crying for days.
that's
Woo.
tough.
but I am really excited to see what he does with that.
I love Flanagan.
Life of Chuck is supposed to be really good. They just released it on the festival circuit.
All right.
That's like a Stephen King adaptation. That's supposed to be really good from him. But
Uh-huh.
something that is not good was the new Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
Salem's Lot is very, very. That's my partner's favorite Stephen King
Mm.
novel. It's her favorite like Stephen King adaptation. Period. The original,
Yeah.
the '70s, the miniseries is phenomenal. And we really didn't like the new one just because they're trying to take something that like is a real slow burn that requires a lot of time,
Mm-hmm.
and they just condense it into an hour and 15 minutes, and it just.
Damn, that's fast.
Dang, that's quick.
But I mean, the solace to that is that if you really want to see the best version of Salem's Lot, it's really Midnight Mass. That's essentially what Midnight Mass is. Salem's
Love
Oh.
Lot
Midnight Mass.
in a different way. But
Yeah.
anyhow, so I'm rambling here, but I think that's all.
Oh no.
You're
All right.
passionate.
I mean, it's been a good year for horror,
It has.
and everyone should go watch horror. It's the season, it's spooky season. By the time this comes out, it'll be Halloween.
Hooray!
But we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you had a good spooky season. Myself, Victor V. Sweet on the socials, and Gorgeous. What about you?
You can find me on, oh gosh, just in the corner filing my nails, waiting for these men to just fucking talk about their feelings so we can actually accomplish something.
There you go.
And you can also find me on Instagram at Celebrate Skin. That is my esthetician page. And I am going to be a full-blown esthetician on November 2nd. So I'm excited. And I'll keep you guys posted on that. So yeah.
All right, so we're real quickly going to say next time, Sho-Dependent Podcast, save the date. We go from spooky season to the horrors in America.
Yeah, very
that
horrific.
are, the current political situation. Some
The
real life
unknown.
horrors. Yeah, the horrors of the unknown, similar to the end of the thing. So rather than talk about all that, I think it's a time for a little bit of fun. So,
Yeah.
so we're gonna do something that makes me happy. Talk about a movie franchise that's I'm gonna make the comparison. It's not a
Oh.
great comparison. I'm gonna make a comparison that is for me very unjustly hated by some.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Night at the Museum. I love this movie. We're going to talk about it next time. Show-Dependent Pod. Before we go to the final quote, Bird, thank you once again for another just
Yay.
fantastic episode breakdown of another horror classic. And hey, next year could be Suspiria, huh? We'll get there in the next one. We're planning a year ahead. But Bird, thank you so much for coming on, for speaking with us. It's always fun. It's just fun to be able to talk about the things that we love and care about. So very much appreciate you coming on and talking with us.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm glad that this is an annual tradition, and I look forward to next year if you all have me.
Oh yeah.
And then final quote would be from one McCready recording, trying to make some sense of what's going on. Nobody trusts anybody now, and we're all very tired.